Now turn to section 2 of your listening question booklet. Section 2. You will hear Inspector Jack Dunn talking about international driver's licenses at an information session for international travellers. As you listen to the first part of the talk, answer questions 11 to 16. Before you listen, look at questions 11 to 16.
I'm sure that you have all heard about international driving licenses. They have been around since 1949, when the United Nations gave approval for their use. This meant that travellers could drive freely in the 186 countries that recognise the international driving licence system, regardless of the language that the drivers spoke. The only conditions were that the driver had to already hold a driving licence in their home country, and they had to be at least 18 years of age. International driver's licenses are well recognised. After all, they've been in use for over 50 years. To break the language barrier, the licence is printed in 11 different languages, but the last page of the booklet is always in French. As I said, it is a booklet about the size of a passport, 10.8 by 15.25 centimetres to be exact. So it is easy to carry with your travel documents. It's not too thick or heavy either, only 17 pages. All of the pages are coloured white, but the cover of the licence is grey. It is a useful form of identification when you travel because it includes a passport-sized photograph and the driver's signature. The International Driver's Licence can only be purchased from authorised travel associations in different countries, but it can also be ordered on the Internet. The cost, of course, varies from country to country, and for the term or the duration of the licence. For example, a 1-year licence might cost approximately $40, whereas a 3-year licence costs double that. A 5-year licence will set you back about $100.
Before the final part of the talk, look at questions 17 to 20. Now you will hear the rest of the talk. Answer questions 17 to 20.
Before I outline the 4 most important points to consider before rushing off to get your international driver's licence, I should probably mention that, yes, the international driver's licence covers all types of vehicles from motorbikes to trucks. But, just as in your own country, you have to be qualified to drive such vehicles. You might like the idea of driving around the Australian outback on a motorbike, or checking out the English countryside in a bus with all your mates, but you'll have to take the appropriate test before you set off. Okay, now the 4 main points. Firstly, you cannot use an international licence in the country in which it is issued. It is for international travel only. Some international students avoid this rule by ordering their licenses on the Internet, which will ask them to nominate a country of your choice for that very purpose. Secondly, some countries won't allow you to use an international licence indefinitely. In Australia, for example, you can only use the international licence for a year. After that, you must get an Australian driving licence. Other countries aren't as strict as that. Thirdly, drivers on international licenses must abide by the road rules in the country that they are visiting. If you are caught breaking those road rules, you will have to pay the penalty, usually a fine. And if you are the cause of an accident, expect to pay for any damages that you are responsible for. Holding an international driver's licence does not give you the right to be reckless. And yes, if you have been suspended or banned from driving in your own country, the same rules apply with an international driver's licence. You must have an existing driver's license to apply for an international driver's license. Some police will, in fact, want to see both your international license and your own driver's license, so carry both licenses with you to save wasting valuable time. Finally, you don't have to take another driving test to get an international driver's license. Your own driver's license is proof that you know how to drive. However, it is your responsibility to learn the road rules of the country that you are visiting and to understand what the different road signs mean. Police are not always understanding to foreign drivers. If you break road rules either deliberately or out of ignorance, expect to pay the price. Police are ultimately the same everywhere.
That is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers.